So when I started thinking about my summer book recommendation list, I couldn't help but see a common theme. Every book that kept coming to mind had an underlying level of sadness, despair, hopelessness, melancholy, as opposed to the kind of typical trope of summery, beachy rom-com summer romance. Now, I definitely have some summer romance on this list, don't get me wrong, but as per usual with me, I like my romances to have a little bit of pain and sadness. So this is what I'm calling my sad girl summer book recommendations. If summer simultaneously makes you happy, but also sometimes just makes you want to lay in your room with all the lights off, the fan blowing on you, staring at the ceiling, then you might like some of these books. I also grew up in Northern California where it is so ungodly hot. Like, the asphalt is literally melting off of the roads. Wildfires raging outside where you could have 3 months of your entire summer smoked out where you can't even go outside. I will tell you right now, that is a depressing experience. I think that what a summer read means to people is different for everyone, especially depending on like where you're at in your life. Maybe it's the only time that you actually have to sit and read a book for yourself that's not academic. Or maybe the summer is just that one time of the year that you do read a book on your vacation, you pick one out, and that's like just one of the few books that you read in a year. I think that's amazing that it's the time when it seems like a lot of people pick up a book. So that being said, all these recommendations do have some kind of summer element, whether it's the time of the year, the setting, but they all do have that kind of underlying depression level to them. For me, a lot of times summer feels very nostalgic. Y'all know, it's my baby, it's normal people. I'm just gonna get this one out of the way because I talk about it so much. This is genuinely one of my favorite books of all time, and I'll find any excuse to talk about it. But this is the epitome of a sad girl summer. The main character, Marianne, in this is just, she's the epitome. She is the sad girl. So if you don't know the short version, it's just following the story of a couple who meet in high school, and it's just following the years of high school and college in Ireland. There's a good portion of this book that's set in the summer. If I remember correctly, it's kind of like the third act. So it holds a lot of weight to it. It's very important to the story. A lot of the drama and the real emotion happens in this summer setting of the book. So the couple that you're following in this reconnect one summer. I believe they're in college. They're reconnecting on a summer holiday at one of their family homes on the Italian Riviera. So extremely summer vibes on the setting there. Gorgeous like Italian villa, it's hot, they have multiple friends there. There's a lot of drinking wine and dinners where a lot of these kind of characters are interacting. I just have such vivid memories of reading that particular summer scene in this book, and it just hits so hard. So while this book spans multiple years and multiple seasons, the summer scenes in this just still live rent-free in my brain. So I couldn't do a sad girl summer recommendation book without putting this on it. If in the summer you feel like all you want to do is recluse in your house, if you have read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, if you're just someone who wants to bed rot and stare at the ceiling, descending into a little bit of a mental breakdown, then I would recommend The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I actually didn't love this book, but I can appreciate it for what it is. And I know that a lot of people really like it. This one actually takes place in the summer. It's following a young girl. I believe she's probably 18. She is just getting out of school and starting an internship in the summer in New York City as an intern at like a fashion magazine. There's a lot of descriptions of like the hot New York City heat. So the main character is just stepping out into the world for the first time. I think if you have like left home at 18 to go live in a new place, go do a college internship, and that is an extremely daunting experience, and it can really mess with you mentally because you really have to figure out who you are and what you like and how you function in just everyday life by yourself. The main character just is stepping out on her own, and she knows that she should be just absolutely loving it, right? She's like, I should be losing my virginity and going out to parties and making new friends and exploring the city. And she just finds herself really apathetic towards all of it. She's not having a good time. She's not enjoying it, but she feels that pressure that she really should. She's staying in like a hostel kind of situation, like in a hotel with a lot of girls her age. So there's a lot of comparison and feeling like she's wrong for not enjoying this the way that the others are. So basically the whole book is just her struggle with her mental health as it just continues to deteriorate over this summer. And it's an extremely interesting read if you really are wanting to like channel your main character energy. If you're feeling a little sorry for yourself, you can just take this with you anywhere you go in the summer, and you're gonna get the looks. You're gonna get the envy of being like, that girl is an it girl. She gets it. Like, this book is just so iconic. There's a lot of cameos of this book in just like popular media. I feel like this is really representative of the sad girl summer. Taking a turn from that one, which is very bleak, this one is a little bit more of an uplifting summer read. This is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is not my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid by any means, but it's obviously perfect for the summer. It takes place in Malibu. It's a sunny, fun setting. You're following a rich, famous family, specifically the eldest daughter, and she's like a famous model and surfer. She hosts a party at like her Malibu mansion to celebrate the end of summer every year. And so it's filled with like important rich people. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of drama. A lot of this story actually just focuses on the main character and her relationships with her siblings, with her boyfriends, with her father as an oldest daughter. That's something that personally I really resonated with. I really understood her character. I really understood her struggles. I really understood her frustrations that she had with the people in her life and how they treated her. So this makes a sad girl summer list because there is a lot of that kind of drama and family turmoil and kind of negative feelings that she can have, feeling like she's kind of alone in this big house with this big family and all these friends, but a lot of the time feeling like she's misunderstood or think she's just not happy with a lot of the ways that things are. If I remember correctly, this book just takes place like over the 1 or 2 days of the party. So it's jam-packed, and it really feels like you're present and part of the story because of that. And obviously because it's a party, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of emotion, family kind of tensions and history there. The party kind of goes a little crazy. Chaos happens, some bad things happen. So while there are some like heartwarming moments and like cool vignettes of like Malibu summer and skateboarding on the beach and getting ice cream, there are some more like serious topics and heavy feelings. Just really good overall, really great characters, moves really fast. One of my top Taylor Jenkins Reid, honestly. This, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Daisy Jones and the Six are my personal favorite Taylor Jenkins Reids that I have read so far. Daisy Jones and the Six would be an honorable mention. These next two recommendations are really hard hitters for me, and I've also talked about these in a few videos, but the first one is Circe. This is a Greek mythology following Circe, who is daughter of Helios, but he is literally the god of sun. Circe is a daughter of obviously the gods, but she is not quite accepted. She is considered to be strange, and her powers are very misunderstood, and they're honestly very afraid of her. Powerful boss girl, a little bit unhinged energy, and I love that. She's essentially exiled on a deserted island. Very depressing summer vibes there. Her powers are essentially rooted in witchcraft, and that's not accepted in the gods. They do not like that. So they fear her. They fear her because she's different. They fear her because she's powerful, and because of that, she's exiled. I just can't think of a better like female rage, sad girl summer vibe than that. She is on this deserted island, and she really just hones her powers. She becomes one with nature. So she has these really powerful growing moments as she literally becomes a woman by herself, deserted by people who fear her and don't understand her. The really heartbreaking part of this is that even as she's deserted and seemingly alone, she still has to deal with the predatory, violent natures of men. And it's just an incredible story. I highly recommend it. I just think it really hits home those kind of hopeless feelings sometimes as you get as a woman, and knowing that no matter what you do, no matter who you are, men will still have a problem with you. They will both be threatened by you and will threaten you with violence in the same breath. And to me, Greek mythology just is the summer vibe. It's heartbreaking, it's depressing, but it's also so beautiful, so vivid. This one isn't quite as heartbreaking as the next Greek mythology on this list, which I'm assuming you guys can probably guess. That is the Song of Achilles. I mean, need I say more? This one is truly a knife to the heart. This one is extremely, extremely heart-wrenching. Just be aware if you're going to take this one on a vacation, if you're going to take it on a plane, if you're going to be reading this at an all-inclusive resort, you might end up sobbing in front of a lot of people. I personally am okay with that. But if you're not, maybe keep this one for the hotel room, keep this one for when you can just have it to be with you by yourself. This is the iconic love story of Achilles and Patroclus. Achilles, the warrior, and Patroclus, kind of the more noble prince, and their love story. Just two men who are obsessively in love, but are literally fated for sadness and heartbreak. The writing is beautiful. The characters are done so well. Really will hit you in the feels with this one. I think summer is a great time to dip your toes and try a classic if you haven't already. And this one is very accessible, a really easy classic to get into. It's very short. This is the iconic The Great Gatsby. This one takes place also in the summertime. You're following the main character who owns this giant mansion in the roaring 20s. So he throws these huge, crazy parties. If you've seen the movie, it's just glitz and glam and drama and drinking and just craziness. It has a lot of themes of like obsession, jealousy, lavish parties, summer romance. This book is also less than 200 pages, so I think it's a really easy one. And maybe you're like a little bit more intimidated by classics. Can't recommend this enough. And then go watch the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio and Carey Mulligan with a Lana Del Rey original song, please. My next recommendation is actually The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. I believe this came out in 2020. It was very popular when it came out. I listened to this on an audiobook during the summer, and it's set in Texas during the Dust Bowl era. So to me, reading that during the summer when it was so hot, it just felt really fitting. It really felt like I was like in there. This one follows a woman and her child trying to survive. This is one of those where it's extremely depressing and there's really no end in sight. It's just like how many bad things can happen to this woman before she completely breaks. But it's just a really great story of resilience, of womanhood, of motherhood. And this one just, again, really got me. It's extremely emotional, extremely depressing. It's literally the Great Depression. That you kind of get that going in, that it's gonna be bleak. This book is the epitome of just like beating a dead horse. You're just like, when is life going to give this goddamn woman a break? Just a really, really powerful story of the American dream, how that can very much be a false promise. Honestly, I still think about it quite a bit, and I've read a lot of Kristin Hannah after that because I just think she does woman characters so well. I would also say The Nightingale is also a good one. That one's a little more like fall vibes to me. So The Four Winds, just a really crazy one, if I'm honest. That is my complete summer sad girl book recommendation video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what book you're looking forward to reading the most this summer. Or maybe just like what kind of books you really enjoy reading in the summertime. I definitely find myself leaning towards some of these more melancholy type of literary fictions when I'm not reading fantasy. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.